Welcome to Brothers RC. In this video, I'm going to drop some underdrive gears into the rear end of this Trx4m. I just finished building this trailer and this crawler. If you haven't seen those videos, check them out. I'm going to be using this truck primarily for towing now, so I want to beef up the rear end in this thing. There's a couple more reasons why you might want to throw underdrive gears in your Trx4m. So let's jump over to the garage. I'll show you how to install them. Then we'll take it outside and run it, and I'll show you how it changes the performance, and we'll talk about the motors and gear combinations that you can use to achieve a greater capability with your truck. So I've been trying to find a good set of underdrive gears at a reasonable price, and this AMK company had a good price, but I tried to install them in here, and when I tightened down the rear diff, they locked up. Now this was built on an AX8650 and not a Trx4m, so I figured I'd give them one more shot and try to install them into the Trx4m differential. When you're installing these underdrive or overdrive gears, and you've got to get to these 4 screws here, these 2 you can't get to without taking off some of your 4-link, but all you really need to do is take this one 4-link off right here. Then your axle is going to sway out far enough to where you can get to these screws. Okay, now that we got the diff cover off, just going to pop this drive line out. Drive line's out. Now we got to pull our axles. So once you've got your tires off, to get your axles out, you're going to have to pop these 2 screws out on each side. Those 2 screws are out, you can just slide your axle right out. The axles are identical, so you really can't get them mixed up. Now that ring gear will pop right out, and then you can push the pinion out. Okay, so this is a 26 tooth and a 12 tooth. I gotta tell you, it doesn't feel like it's gonna work. But I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt here. If it doesn't work, I got another set. It was bone dry in there, but when we put these back in, we definitely want to get some grease on everything. The metal gears are definitely louder than the nylon gears, and this grease really helps to quiet things down, as well as, you know, keep it from binding up. And you just pop that ring gear back in there. Well, I can tell you right off, I don't think these are gonna work. They're spinning, but they're definitely crunchy. Yeah, as soon as I tighten down the differential case, they just become terrible. Grinding, not running smooth at all. All right, I'm gonna grab the other set and put them in. I really hate wasting my time with garbage parts, but I had to be sure. I didn't want to give these guys a bad rap without double checking. So that's 2 different sets of these. Guaranteed that these are garbage. I tried them in the AX8650 and I tried them in the Trx4m, and they just grind. I'll put the link in the description so you know which parts to avoid. So here's the second set I've got. This pinion gear here definitely has a lower profile, so it should be okay. Let's find out. This one's definitely spinning more freely, but still feels kind of iffy. Go ahead and put it together and see what happens. So it looks like those ones worked, but I did have to leave the diff cover a little bit loose. When I push it down, I can feel them start to grind a little bit. So maybe with a little wear and tear, they will smooth out. We'll see, but they are working right now. Let's get this thing out and pull a trailer with it. That'll put some significant pressure on them and see what happens then. That's not gonna end well. Put these underdrive gears to work. So they're not locking up, and they're definitely getting a good workout here. This truck needs some more weight in it. All right, let's try that again, see if that extra weight helps. Oh yeah, no problem. That extra weight really is helping. This trailer and this crawler here are super heavy. I'm sure they outweigh the K10 at least 2 to 1. Maybe I'll throw them on the scale when we get back to the office. All right, I stamped this out to get it good and soupy. Okay, that's good enough for the stress test. Let's go take it down on the rocks and talk about the underdrive gears and what exactly they're doing. All right, let's talk a little bit about these underdrive gears and what they're doing. So this truck has a 50 turn motor, which is a low turn motor, and it spins pretty fast. What I wanted to do by putting the underdrive gears in the back is slow the rear end down so that the front tires are spinning faster than the back tires. And what that does is it causes the front end to get more traction than the back. So essentially it pulls it kind of in the direction you want to go. And that makes it a better climber. It also gives the truck a better turning radius. And as you can see, this thing wheels really well now. This is a cheap and super effective way to improve the capability of your truck. And as long as you get the right gears, it only takes a couple minutes to install them. Then you get performance like that. The underdrive gears function great, and they did smooth out like I thought they would. Sometimes metal gears like that will have some burrs on them if they're not machined super well. And after running them for a bit, they smooth themselves out. So I'll pop a link in the description to these ones because they did end up working well. Now let's take a quick look at all the weight that this thing was pulling. I know you guys have been around for like 40 years, but are you even old enough to be drinking that beer? The total of the trailer, the crawler, and the rock that this thing was towing is 3 pounds, 4.9 ounces. And the grand total of all the weight that this motor was pushing is 4 pounds, 12 ounces. That's a massive amount of weight for this little 180 motor to be pushing, especially a 50 turn. So that 180 motor with the crawler gears in this truck is a champ setup to be moving all that weight. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like and subscribe button. Then tap the bell to get notified of my future videos. And remember, when you think RC, think O Brothers RC. Thanks for watching.